Guys, now say DHCP. Are you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you have a system, desktop or a laptop or anything. Okay, any device which is want to connect in the network, it need an NIC, right? Without NIC, you can't connect. It need an NIC. It need a NIC is there to connect, but to communicate, compulsory we need a IP address. Without IP address, you cannot communicate. Means your source PC must have an IP address. Means source device must have an IP address, and the destination device must have an IP address. Then only we can communicate. Okay. Within the LAN, the IP address network must be same. Outside of your LAN, IP addresses are different. The network is different. Different IP addresses are there. So we can communicate through the routers. We have a lot of routers. So through routers, we can able to communicate. But whether it is same network IP or different network IP address, there must be an IP address to communicate. Okay. For our system, how we are getting an IP address? So there must be, we should configure IP address, so for laptop or a desktop or a mobile phone, the IP address must be configured. Without IP address, we can't communicate. You have a laptop or a desktop or a mobile phones or a tablets or TVs, which you are connecting to a network or internet. The IP address will be configured. You can configure this IP address manually, or you will get an IP address automatically. Okay, either you will configure an IP address manually, or you will get an IP address automatically. From where you will get an IP address part?
From DHCP server.
From DHCP server. Very good. Okay. So if you configure manually, like you have there is a desktop and you want to configure IP address manually. So users manually they can configure an IP address to their computers or laptops. The IP address never changes with the change of network. Means for my laptop, I given an IP address. Okay, now it is working fine. As per my current network, I given an IP address. I went to home. In my home, it's different network, different IP address we are using there. So again, how to configure again? But how to configure, that is also the important one now. So is it there or not there? Okay. How to configure an IP address to a NIC manually? I go to ncpa.cpl, guys. See, this is an adapter. This is an adapter. These two adapters are disconnected. This is physical NIC, cable connecting type. This is physical NIC, Wi-Fi type. This is virtual NIC, which is from virtual box kind of stuff. Okay. Just I want to show you how to assign an IP address. So open, see the details. Can you see? DHCP enabled no means IP address is configured manually. It is already IP address is configured manually, not automatically. So I want to configure IP address manually, right? So then go to the properties, IPv4 properties. Then I will give IP address. Guys, the first option represent I want to get an IP address from DHCP server. If I want to get an IP address from DHCP server, how to choose this first option. I want to configure IP address manually, choose the second option. Use the following IP address and type your IP address. I'm typing my one IP address, some IP address, guys. Nothing is problem. I'm giving my subnet mask. If I have it as a default gateway, then I will give my default gateway. If I have my any DNS server with this address, I will give the DNS server address. Just how to configure. So IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, preferred DNS or alternate DNS address. Remember guys, IP address we are giving at OS level. We are open the network adapter, but it is not specific to a network adapter. It is OS level of IP address. Means one network adapter having one MAC address and one network adapter can have multiple IP addresses. This is only one IP address, but you can assign multiple IP addresses also. How it is? There is advanced. See, this is IP address. I can add more IP addresses, more gateways, more DNS server addresses. I can add it. Okay. So IP address is not a dedicated one. IP address can be changeable. IP address can be assigned manually and automatically. So this is manual configuration. What is our requirement? This is screenshot. Okay. I'll keep it like this. And like this. Let's get this. Now I can draw on it. Yes, very good. Guys, first I went to this, double click. Can I see properties, IPv4 properties. Can you see second one? Second one is for manual configuration. Okay, so I give an IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, and DNS server. This is second option. Use the following IP address means manual configuration. We have need a separate part for this. Very good. Separately it is. IP address, manual configuration. Okay. Once you are configured manually, what to do? You have to verify, right? So click OK. Close. Again, you have to verify. Details. So you got IP address now. This is again, guys, how to check IP address, how to assign an IP address. Both are I'm telling. So DHCP enabled now means IP address assigned manually. You got IP address, manual IP address. Okay. And you got IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, and DNS address and physical address also. You are getting physical address. What is meant by physical address, guys? MAC address.
MAC address.
MAC address. Okay, very good. So go to details. No means manually assigned IP address it is. And I got an IP address. I given, so that's why it is given. Can you see DHCP server IP address kind of stuff here? It is not showing any DHCP server IP or lease uptime, lease duration kind of stuff because it's a manually configured IP address.
Hello, sir.
Tell me.
What is the range for the default gateway IP address?
Very good. That is actually very good. What is meant by default gateway? Actually, in networking, I told 2-3 times, but no. Guys, this is your network. So in your network, you have a devices and you are connected. To a switch or a hub, you are connected. To communicate from these devices, for example, A to B, you want to communicate, or a C, D, E, all are in the same LAN network, all are should follow same IP network. Means same class, same IP, same subnet mask, means same subnet mask, same network ID. Okay, so they have to follow. Okay, so they will communicate directly, right? So I want to communicate A to B, A send a packet like this, B will get a packet. In this network, we don't require any gateways. Gateway means I am not communicating outside of my logical network. I'm communicating within my physical as well as a logical network only. So I don't require gateway. So you're all sitting in one place, in one single classroom. Do you require to go outside to talk? Okay. So you are asking a question to me. So in the same class, same meeting. Okay. To ask a question, you don't require to do any other gateways not required for us, right? Next. In case I want to communicate to a remote system, which is not in my network. This is not in my network, not in my LAN network. It is outside of my LAN, outside of my physical network, outside of my logical network. Either it is outside of my physical network, or we can say outside of my logical network. Now I want to communicate to this. How to communicate? We have to go outside of our network. So then we can communicate it to this one. Okay. So wherever it is located, it is directly connected or not connected. So no problem. Okay. But to communicate to these devices, which is not in your network, not in your logical network. So to communicate those devices, you have to go through the default gateway. It is telling that this is the way you can have to go outside of your logical network. Okay, the interface, what we are calling here, it is default gateway interface. IP address of this default gateway interface is default gateway IP address. In generally, in our home network, our Wi-Fi router is act like a default gateway because you are communicating outside of your network, you have to communicate through default gateway. Okay. Really, I don't have any this specific default gateways are not there. But I just as an IP architecture, the service I don't. Okay. Guys, I got an IP address manually, right? I configured IP address manually. But how to get an IP address from a DHCP server? How to get a DHCP from the DHCP server? There must be a DHCP server. There is a DHCP server. If there is a DHCP server which is connected to this interface or an adapter, so we will get an IP address. But I will show you configuration. I'm not sure there is a specific DHCP server connected to this adapter. Okay. So how to configure IP address? Double click or a right click status, properties, IPv4 properties. So as I said, second option is for manual configuration. For automatic configuration, which option? Obtain IP address automatically. Guys, if you are observed, if I select the second one, this tab is not appearing. If I select first one, this tab is appearing. This is called a alternate configuration. Okay. Automatic private IP address user configured. Means if you are failed to get an IP address from DHCP server, this will work. Alternate configuration works. Either APIPA address or a user configure. I will tell that one. Yes. Obtain an IP address automatically. Server address automatically. So both I want to get a from DHCP server. You guys understand or not? This is small, very difficult. Okay, but thing is you must see and you must learn, you must understand, because small thing. It's very difficult thing if you don't understand that is a small. I try to go very slowly. So again, double click. I went to properties. Then this selection, properties, and I select the first option. Means get IP address from DHCP. Okay. Get IP address from DHCP server. Obtain IP address automatically. So that's the point. Okay. Here it is not giving any information. Why? Because of we are not telling any IP address. Here we will get an IP address from DHCP server. You guys understand how to configure to get an IP address from DHCP server.
Yes, sir.
See whether we are able to get an IP address or not. Click OK, close, wait. Yeah, we didn't not yet get, but enable yes. Yeah, we got an error. Okay, so we'll use this error later. Okay. Yeah, because I don't have any specific DNS server which is connected to this piece. So I will show you the output from here. If you got an IP address from DHCP server, how it is look like. Okay. So you got an IP address from a specific DHCP server, you will get DHCP enabled. Yes. And if you want to see properties for this adapter, guys, Wi-Fi adapter, IPv4 properties, what it is configured, obtain IP address automatically, obtain DNS server automatically. It means it is connected to the already it is connected to network, main physical network it is connected. So obviously I will get an IP address from my DHCP server. So this is my DHCP server. See the difference between manually configured and automatically configured things. DHCP enable yes, and I got an IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server address, and DHCP server address. So earlier I didn't get a DHCP server address. Why? Because of manually configured. It is showing no because of manually configured. Yes means automatically. And lease uptime, lease expiry is also done. So understand how to connect to the from DHCP. I went to this details. Yes means you got IP address from DHCP. It is a automatic, not manual. Okay, I got IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server, DNS server addresses. Okay, it's my physical network, so I will move some information. If you guys understand, you got an IP, how to check an IP address, and you got an IP address manually or automatically.
Yes, sir.
Okay. One more screenshot that is, I will show you that one. It's a manual configuration. This is okay. So here it is some theory I've written, guys. First, you understand how to assign an IP address manually, how to get IP address automatically. So manually means you have to go to PC, you have to assign IP address. I assign to my PC, my adapter. I have 100 computers. Can you assign? Can you go to each and every PC? Can you assign a specific IP address? Difficult, right? One is difficult. So you have to go to each and every PC and you have to remember the sequence. You have to give the IP address manually. It's very difficult. Second, when I'm seeing like a people, I will tell like so assign this IP address. So instead of 172, they'll put 170. Okay. Instead of 16, they'll put a 168. Instead of 192, they'll put a 190. Okay. Instead of 10, they'll put 100. People do mistakes, guys. Even by mistake, even I can able to put a mistakes. Okay. Wrong IP address assignment. Sometimes people assign an IP address to a multiple devices. So I have a devices, same IP for a two or more devices. What happened? Conflicts will occur. Same IP 192.168.10.20. Same IP address for a 2-3 machines. If more than two means more than one PC, you assigned same IP address means conflicts will be generated. Conflict occurs, those devices won't communicate with the rest of any devices. Okay, conflicts will occur. So by conflicts, same IP, we are assigning more than one device. Not everyone knows how to assign IP address. I learn networking, I know how to assign IP address. But nowadays, these devices, laptops, desktops, mobile phones, tablets, people are using through network. How many people know how to assign an IP address? My father don't know, my mother don't know, maybe my sister little know. Okay, mostly she won't worry about that IP address also. Even she little knows about it. We can't teach everyone to how to assign an IP address, what IP address they have to assign. There is no role in it. Okay. So it is not everyone knows how to assign an IP address. In organization, system administrator, desktop support engineers are there, so they will do it. But still it is very difficult to assign. This lot of number of devices are there. Difficulty is increases, administrative burden increases, wrong IP address possibilities and conflicts possibilities. Not only desktop laptops, guys. I showed you very easily in my laptop. But an IP address to a network printer. Printers directly connected to a network. So that type of printers also there. That is called a network printers, Wi-Fi printers. In my home, I have a Wi-Fi printer. So compulsory IP address. So we can connect through Wi-Fi directly. So it need an IP address. Mobile phones. You may not see your mobile phone. Okay. It's very so you have to go to settings, network connect selection. You have to assign an IP address. It's not much easy. Smart TVs are there in market. Smart LEDs, smart plugs, smart appliances. So many type of smart appliances which is connected to network. It is not much easy. So cannot assign for some devices. It's very difficult to assign. Even we can assign, but it is very difficult to assign. Okay, guys, but that is a problem with your manual configuration. You change the network. Like I connected in my office. Okay, I use an IP address, but when I go to my home, it is may use different networks. Then again, I have to change my IP address every time. It is also a very difficult task, right? Understand, guys? Manual problems.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next, what is a automatic or a dynamic? Guys, remember, manually you configure an IP address called a static IP address. Manually, you configure an IP address called a static IP address. Automatically, you configure an IP address, means you got an IP address to your device. Automatically means that is an IP address called a dynamic IP address. Dynamic IP address. So a DHCP server is assigned an IP address to clients. Or we can say DHCP server configures IP address to clients. These IP addresses can change frequently. I'm in my office. When I connected to this office network, I will get an IP address from my office DHCP server. When I go to my home, okay, so I connected that network. I will get an IP address from my home DHCP server. Okay, my home DHCP server. When we change the network, means I'm in here in this network, maybe evening I will be in my home, so then different network. If I go to my hometown, that is different network. That their LAN is different network, there is different IP address. Automatically IP address changes by the DHCP server. And there is no possibilities or less possibilities of entering wrong IP addresses and conflicts. Entering of IP addresses, wrong IP addresses and conflicts means assigning same IP addresses to that more than one device is what happens. Even if it is happens, it automatically changes. everyone is not required to know IP address. For example, in my hometown, my father, mother is there. So there is a Wi-Fi router. From when they are connected, so automatically they will get an IP address. So they don't need to know how to assign an IP address. They are getting an IP address even for a TV also. And different type of devices. Easily we get an IP address from DHCP server. Only thing is you have to select yes, automatically get an IP address from DHCP server. Actually, I want to draw this picture. See, here it is. This is a DHCP server. In the DHCP server, we already told this is the IP address range. Okay, so whenever the client requests for an IP address, give an IP address from DHCP IP address range. Okay, from this scope, give the first APC, ask DHCP server, I want an IP address. So DHCP server will give an IP address. BPC is asking DHCP server, I want an IP address. It give an IP address. DPC asking DHCP server, I want an IP address. So server given a IP address. So IP address is configured in A, B, C. Sorry, A, B, D. Why not in C? Okay, in CPC, I configured IP address manually. So you configure an IP address to a device manually means it is not a DHCP client. Obtain IP address automatically means DHCP client. Use following IP address means manual configuration, static IP address. So it is not a DHCP client. Okay, guys, you may get a doubt, sir, in my home, I've never seen any specific servers. I have a Wi-Fi router, I am getting connected, I don't use any DHCP server. Guys, these DHCP servers can be a Windows server or Linux based servers, or your home Wi-Fi router is act like a DHCP server. In this one, I got an IP address from a Wi-Fi router. My office Wi-Fi router, I got this IP address. Okay, so my Wi-Fi router, my default gateway, all same means it's a Wi-Fi router kind of stuff. Default gateway, DHCP, and DNS. All IP addresses are same means it's a Wi-Fi router part. Okay, so your Wi-Fi router is act like a default gateway, DHCP server, and DNS server also depends upon configuration. Okay. So what we are getting from DHCP server, IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server address, DHCP server address, and the lease duration means lease uptime, lease expiry part also. Lease uptime and lease expiry also. What happened to this? Guys understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in this PPT also I've written manual configuration, automatic configuration also. This is a big story behind this, how DHCP works kind of stuff. Okay. how DHCP works, guys. First of all, client, when you put it under obtain IP address automatically, means obviously client do not have any IP address. Client do not have any IP address. Client do not have any IP address. So what client will do? Client try to discover where is my DHCP. Client don't know where is the DHCP server. Okay. Client try to discover where is the DHCP server. Client is trying to discover where is the DHCP server. Okay. So what it will do, it send a packet to the network like a broadcast wise. Are you a DHCP server? For example, you don't know an address. So what you will do? You'll ask everyone, is it this address? Do you know this address? Are you this particular person? Are you? Belongs to this particular person kind of stuff? Like that. So client try to discover where is a DHCP server. Then, so finally, there is a DHCP server, got your request, like your packet. So DHCP server received a message from client. It is, are you a DHCP server? So DHCP server will tell to the client, yes, I'm the DHCP server. I have an IP address. You want it? Then it reaches that packet. Once it is reaches to the client said, yes, I want this. I want this IP address. So then DHCP server will give the IP address. This process called a DORA process, guys. Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Okay. So there's full explanation is there. I'm not doing that one. Just you should understand important thing is DHCP. What is a DHCP server? Difference between manual configuration, automatic configuration, how to configure, how to check IP address. Okay. Usually I don't put that much time on for your batches also. Okay. And these explanations. But this is important. This is a network troubleshooting point. Everybody is silent.
No, sir, no, we are here.
Guys, if you see, I said get an IP address from DHCP server, obtain IP address automatically for this adapter. But I got this kind of IP address, not full IP address. Okay, DHCP enable, yes, okay, but IP address is showing like this. Subnet mask. Where is default gateway DNS? Where is DHCP server address? If I got IP address from DHCP, means DHCP enable, yes. But where is my DHCP server address? If I got an IP address from DHCP server, compulsory DHCP server address will be there now. It is not showing that one. Why? See? Hmm? Tell me, guys. If it's showing S, means get IP from DHCP
Manually.
server.
Yes.
S means get IP from DHCP, automatic. S means automatic. Okay. But if I'm getting an IP address, then from DHCP server, so it has to show what is my DHCP server IP address, right? Where is this DHCP server IP address? Where it is? Leave it like this. Where is the DHCP server IP address? Meaning, what is that meaning? Means you got this IP address not from DHCP server. Okay, your configuration is DHCP enabled means obtain IP address automatically. But your configuration is no DHCP server showing, meaning is it is a problem. Means you don't get an IP address from DHCP server. So, but you're showing some IP address. See, 169.254 means you got APIPA automatic private IP address. Okay, so I will explain what is that. This is good. Okay. What is this APIPA? Automatic private IP address. When you check your IP address, guys, whenever you go and check the IP address, your IP address is showing DHCP enable S and your IP address is showing 169.254 dot something dot something. Okay, you check an IP address and your IP address is showing 169.254 dot some numbers. Meaning is you got an IPPA address. Why you will get an IPPA address? Because your system is failed to get an IP address from DHCP. If system is unable to get a IP address from DHCP server, your system will assign an IP address from APIPA range. Means 169.254.0.1 to 169.254.255.254. Within the range, your system will get an IP address. Means commonly 169.254. Okay. So it means you fail to get an IP address from DHCP server or you are unable to get IP address from DHCP server. Why you are unable to get IP address from DHCP server? Guys, understand this thing? 2 points. First 2 points.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The question is why you are unable to get a IP address from DHCP server? Maybe DHCP server is not there, not connected. Service is down. Okay, some problem in DHCP server, or you are not connected to any DHCP server. I'm getting an IP address to this adapter from DHCP server, right? See, enable S means DHCP, and also it is showing DHCP server address. Means I got an IP address from this DHCP server, but this adapter is not getting IP address from DHCP server. Okay, so meaning is maybe this adapter is not connected to any DHCP server, but this adapter is connected. Possibility. Next, maybe the connected DHCP server is not working. It is down, disconnected, or maybe the service related problems inside means there is some issue in it. I said no scope means to give an IP address to the clients, there is a range, like 100 IP address range is there. The range is completed. Okay. So there can be either it is server side or at a client side connectivity also problem. So what to do? First of all, okay, the first thing is check the DHCPs. Check the DHCPs. Check the connectivities. Okay, if in case of it is a Wi-Fi router is a DHCP server, make sure your Wi-Fi router is on, your Wi-Fi signal is there. Okay, the connectivities, some other if you are in a hostel, they will give limited connectivities. Means this particular laptop only it will connect, like a Wi-Fi MAC binding. If you are specific laptop or a specific device, then only you will get connected. Okay, so in that cases also it is there. Okay, guys. So if you got an APIPA, Wi-Fi, your Wi-Fi router is working, DHCP and Wi-Fi is working, but you of this MAC binding also possible. Okay. In general, these people, some people will get a problem with that one. So one more point I will add here, guys, in the issues. I connected a network in my office. In my office, I connected to a network. I got an IP address from my office DHCP server. Today work is completed. I go to my home. Then I connected their network. It is showing my old IP address only. It is showing old IP address. I changed my network, but IP address is not changing automatically. Okay, that is the one thing. Okay. So if your IP address is not changing, even you change the network, possibility is you configured manually. If it is not configured manually, it is automatically configured. So definitely it has to change. If it is not changing, what to do? If you are not getting IP address from DHCP server, what to do? From DHCP server, you are not getting, check the DHCP server connectivities. Any this kind of MAC binding thing is there. So please check it once more. Okay. Next one is at client side, what we can able to do it for ourselves. So server side, you may not able to do anything, but client side, what we can able to do it. Go to ncpa.cpl, of course, network adapter settings. Right click on adapter, disable the adapter, guys. Just disable it. The adapter is disabled. And right click, enable the adapter, or double click is also okay. So disable and enable the adapter, connect and disconnecting to the adapter. We'll try to refresh all the things, means the previous data, previous kind of stuff will be gone. It freshly try to get a new IP address. Of course, it is not getting, it won't get also. Okay. So you can do disable and enable the adapter. Another one is if in case you want to do in a command line, go to IP config release in a command prompt. I don't do it, guys. Just I will type and show you IP config space slash release. What is the use of release command? It will remove currently configured IP address to your adapter. It removes that IP address. What are the IP address you got it from DHCP server, means automatic configured IP address will be removed. If I put enter, my IP address will be removed. Current internet working one. Okay. ipconfig release command to release the configured, automatically configured IP address. After this one, put a ipconfig slash renew. Renew means now you don't have any IP address. Get a new IP address from DHCP server. Okay. So this one also I'm not doing. Okay. I'm not specifying any adapter here, right? So that's why it's danger for my laptop current, because I'm taking session. You should not. Okay. ipconfig release to flush or remove the old IP address or a automatically configured IP address. Renew to get a new IP address from DHCP server. Okay. So what is an APIPA, guys? When you check your IP address, your IP address is showing as 169.254.something.something. Means your system is failed to get an IP address from DHCP server. So if you are failed to get an IP address from DHCP, check what is your DHCP server generally. Is it Wi-Fi router or there is any specific DHCP server? Check the connectivities. Any MAC bindings, blockages are there, connectivities issues are there, service related restarts, you can do it. So server side, that's a DHCP side troubleshoot. But client side troubleshooting, important is client side, because you are not at a server engineer, right? So we are not doing that one now. Okay. So client side, what we can able to do it, go to network connections window, there on your adapter, disable it and enable it. That one we can do it, or you can go to command line ipconfig space slash release to remove or flush the old IP addresses, and ipconfig space slash renew to get a new IP address from DHCP server. Okay. Very big today. Actually, we have to complete DNS chapter also. Yeah, we can complete it. Not a big deal.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
So what is proxy?
Please.
Proxy.
Proxy. Yeah, we can use this one also. So I have an IP address configured here. Okay. So I want to communicate to my outside of my network. So which IP address I use? This IP address only. This IP address, with this IP address I can communicate, right? In general. But using a proxy server, what it will do? Proxy server, when you are sending a request, proxy server take your request and resend the request with the proxy server IP address. Okay. Like you want to propose a girl. Okay. You want to propose a girl, and you told to your friend, and you given a love letter to your friend. So for your protection purpose, if something goes wrong, your friend will get a ball. Okay. So you can, so just for a fun, I'm telling. Okay. What your friend is done in your love letter, he removed your name, he put his name, and he proposed it to this girl. Okay. She's accept and tell a thing to your friend, and your friend is tell yes, this is the love letter given by this girl, but actually addresses are different. Okay, so it is like a proxy is doing this one. Instead of you, someone is taking care. Like instead of your IP address, the proxy server send a request and receive a response from outside with a proxy server IP address, not your IP address. Your IP address is not exposed to outside. Understand or confused? Are you
Okay,
going
sir.
to? Hmm?
Got it, sir.
Got it? Or you went to the old days, something you have done in your school days, college days? Have taken very lengthy class, but you have a thing to get it or not, we don't know. Yeah, I will tell DNS tomorrow, guys, because I have told so many things today. If I tell this one also, you will forget everything. So don't forget everything. Okay. So a lot of with patience you will learn and you're asking questions. That is a good thing. No problem, 1 or 2 days of extra time. No problem, not at all, people. Yeah. You ask one question, what is proxy? Okay. Search for what is proxy and what is VPN. Both try. Difference between proxy and VPN and difference between HTTP, HTTPS. These things are there. Okay. Why these things are Telugu songs? This is my account. I never search for Telugu songs here. Power set animated videos. Guys, this is mainly for small things. So yesterday someone asked what is firewall also. Okay. 5 minutes, 10 minutes max videos are there. It is very useful to understand basic level. So this is what is VPN. Of course, I will try to explain what is the VPN part, but also it is animated, right? Animated, just like morning I showed my window, so you can easily getting an understanding. The same way it is. Okay, so this is somewhere it is proxy. Subnet mask, Bluetooth, IP config, APIPA. So APIPA. So APIPA is like a network related troubleshooting part. Servers are there. Yeah, here it is a proxy. Ping is also good. Okay, it's not my videos, but recently it's a good one. Even I don't go through these things, but as you know, it is little okay. But guys, when you seen, you will understand, but you will forget. So compulsory, you have to write a points from it and practice how to tell in a interview. And there is a DNS related also there. I am sending DHCP, not this is a DNS part. And this is DNS part. Okay. Even I explain, my explanation is lengthy videos, right? So this is small. Ping and trace RT, ping command is also there. TCP UDP differences, Okay, modem router kind of stuff, NAT explanations. Okay, POP3 IMAP, SMTP explanation for a things. I sent some, but from that one you will get a lot of information. Okay, that's it for today. Guys, tomorrow we'll continue for a DNS and other things. Okay, good today. Any
Thank
doubts?
you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Compulsory read, guys.